Welcome to the William P. Faust Public Library. On behalf of the library staff, the Board of Trustees, and the residents of Westland, it's my privilege and honor to welcome you to the library today. Thank you for coming out today. You're all dressed so wonderfully well. It's on this beautiful spring day, so we welcome you. Today we are here to gather to celebrate a milestone in the library's history, the ratification and the approval of the very first collective bargaining agreement between the library management and the non-supervisory employees of the Westland Public Library. You all know what happened here in the recent past. And I want to first thank the staff for all their fortitude and their dedication during a very difficult time in the library's history. Despite everything that happened, you all put your heads down and served this community with great dedication, and served the Westland community extremely well. So will you please stand up, staff, and be recognized? So we, as I mentioned, first agreement, it wasn't easy, especially because we were working off a blank sheet of paper. We had nothing to go by. There were no previous contracts, no previous agreements. So it took time. It took about 8 months and numerous drafts that I think Katie and Kerry kept count of, what was it, a dozen or so. But eventually we got the job done. And I think at the end of the day, we should all be very pleased at what we were able to accomplish, and an agreement that serves both parties very, very well. I'm especially looking forward to what comes next, to working with this great staff in the years ahead to take our services to an entirely new level, and to look forward to that next milestone in this library's history, which is November 3, 2021, when this library celebrates 25 years of its existence. Our Board of Trustees have just completed and approved a new and exciting budget for 2019-2020 that contains many, many exciting new initiatives to rebuild trust, to re-engage with community residents, to invest in this wonderful facility, to really bring it back to its former sparkle, to provide services to residents that don't receive them now, and also to invest in our staff in continuing education and so on and so forth. So we look forward to continually engaging with Westland residents in a strategic planning process, talk to as many different groups as possible, so that we can provide the most cost-effective and efficient services that we can to this great city. I want to especially commend Mayor Wild for his role in this healing and transformation process. He had to make some very difficult decisions, including having to appoint a new library board of trustees. Will the trustees in the room please stand? Thank you. He also reached out to the displaced librarians and ensured that they were invited back and reinstated them in their former positions. So, Mayor, you've been very, very instrumental in beginning this healing process that has really brought us to this day. And we cannot thank you enough for everything that you have done. So it's with deep pleasure and humility that I present to you, Mayor Wild.
Well, thank you, Ishwar. Thank you for those kind, warm comments, and thank you all for being here today. As Ishwar said, this is a really good day for the city of Westland, and I think it is a really good day for us here at the Westland Public Library too. It's hard to believe it's going to be 25 years. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago. I remember we had the 10-year anniversary at this wonderful building. So, I meet people every day that either still live in Westland or they came from Westland, and they still talk about when this library was built. And they said at the time it was the jewel of the city. And to think almost 25 years later, it really truly is the jewel of the city. And a library is so much more, the Westland Library is so much more than just a beautiful building. It really, in the books on the shelves, and you guys know that, it really truly is the people that work here that make it special, because there's libraries in every city, and I know that they think their libraries are special, but ours truly is special. And as I talk with Ishwar, the library in the city of Westland has become so much more than just a library. It's actually kind of the center of culture in our city, and we've been trying to build off the wonderful things that the library's been doing for a long time by adding art and community theater and other things. But the library's led us on that path for a long time, and that's because of the incredibly talented people that work here. A lot of those ideas, they come from the staff, and while we don't get a chance to thank you very often, I want to thank you on behalf of the residents, because it really is truly a wonderful place, and it's because of you. I want to recognize the new library board, the Board of Trustees. They came into a very tough time. They stepped forward, and they put their heads down on day one. They worked together, and they've done an incredible job of locating our new director, Ishwar. What a wonderful find he has been for the community, and we look forward to his continued leadership. And every time I talk with him, he's always talking about new things happening at the library. So I think the staff here inspires him on a daily basis. I want to also recognize the city council presidents here representing the city council. He's going to talk in a few minutes. The city council had to work with me to get a new board appointed. They did it unanimously. They helped us try to find qualified people in the community, and we worked with the library network to come up with a process to choose these people. And once we did, we think we had the best candidates, and the city council 100% was on board with the unanimous decision, and they've been part of this too. Sherry West, I see her sitting here today. She has served our community for a long time. She's done an incredible job. She stepped into the interim period, and while there was a lot of commotion going on in the city, she worked with the staff to make sure that the patrons of the library weren't affected by that. And I know that there was a period of time where she knew that we were going to get to a collective bargaining agreement, and we weren't there yet, but we worked with Katie, who was appointed as the I don't know if I know your exact title. She's the chair, okay. With the folks from SEIU, they knew that we were going to get to a collective bargaining agreement, so there was a period of time where we didn't have it, but we had to work together, and I think our HR department kind of helped there. So there's a lot of people that really came together to put this together. So Katie's going to be speaking in a few minutes, and I just want to say that I think that she's a wonderful person to represent the non-supervised employees. I think you guys have a great person there to represent you, and I look forward to attending your 25th anniversary coming up pretty soon. It's going to be a special day here in the city of Westland. We look forward to it. So once again, everybody that went into putting this agreement together, I really appreciate your help, because these things aren't easy, and we know that it took us a while to get there, but we're there now, and we're not going to look back. So thank you.
Katie Dover-Taylor is one of the most passionate, dedicated, and fearless librarians that I've ever met in my career. She also happens to be the chair of the Westland Library Union. So, welcome, Katie.
Thanks, Ishwar. I should have warned you not to say anything nice, because I'm already a little choked up, so thanks so much. In April 2017, the Westland Library staff voted to form a union represented by SEIU Local 517M. In our statement of purpose, we wrote, "We believe our library can be a place where all people are treated with respect and dignity, where ideas are welcome, where learning and growth are encouraged, and where teamwork, trust, and mutual support are highly valued." We believed then that forming a staff union was the best way to advocate for positive change at the library. 2 years later, the change we hoped for is here. We could not have gotten to this point without the collective effort of many, many people. We want to express our deep gratitude to the Westland community and local leaders who showed their support for the library staff in the turbulent months during our campaign to unionize. We could not have made it to this day without you. We would also like to thank the Westland Library Board of Trustees and Library Director Ishwar Lakshminarayan for all of their truly hard work in restoring respectful and accountable leadership at the library. While collective bargaining is never easy, we have emerged from the process with an agreement both sides can be proud of, unanimously supported both by union members and by the library board. This first contract establishes a structure that will allow our staff to continue to grow and thrive in service to this community. We are hopeful for a future of strong public service, community engagement, and innovation as the library begins this next chapter in its history. Thank you.
Very nice words. Thank you, Katie. President Godbow, who's our wonderful president of the Westland City Council, I see him at every function in the city that I am at. It's amazing how he does it. Thank you for your service, and thank you for to the other councilmen here for your service to this great city. Would you please step up and say a few words?
Thanks, Ishwar. I appreciate this opportunity. As been mentioned, there was a lot of turbulent times here in the library, but one thing that occurred was the transparency of what was happening behind the scenes to the residents. And that goes to the credit of the staff of the library. They did an outstanding job. Even though there was a lot of turmoil in the background, you'd never know it walking in the door if you were a patron of the library. And to that, I wish to say thank you very much. You were professionals. You conducted yourself as professionals. And I'm sure you're going to continue to conduct yourself as professionals as we move forward. Katie, thank you on behalf of all of my colleagues on the City Council. I know it's been a long process, but hopefully all the heavy lifting is out of the way with this initial contract, and that when it comes time for a renewal in, I think it's 2022, that will go a lot smoother for the process. James, from the library board, and all the members of the library board came in at a very tough time in the history of the library, but once again, you all stepped up to the plate and worked together to try and start the healing process, which basically this agreement is the culmination of. And so on behalf of all of my colleagues on the Westland City Council, I want to thank everyone that has been involved in these negotiations and that continues to operate this library in an outstanding fashion. Thanks.
In addition to having a wonderful staff, I've also been blessed with a really wonderful board of trustees. And I have to especially, mention our wonderful board president, James Higgins, who really epitomizes the spirit of service and the dedication that they brought to this whole library and to this community. James has a way with words that very, very few people that I know of that I've ever met in my life have. He can spin a word and really create magic with it. So I'm going to welcome James Higgins to the podium.
Ishwar, I'm truly humbled. Thank you for that introduction. I'll be brief. I just want to first say thank you to the mayor, to City Council, for the opportunity given to the board to serve. I'd like to start with our negotiating team, Gary, Gail, the dedication you guys put forth in working with all parties involved. Most importantly, the employees of the library for your determination to wanting to get things done. Ishwar, for your experience and leadership, I thank you there as well. And there was a lot of talk on the past when we first came in, but I like to think of it as a unique opportunity to spin it in something positive, where we look at the past as a cornerstone to building the future to make the Westland Library the benchmark of its peers and best in class, and as well as we look to move forward into the future together as one unique library. I'd like to thank everybody involved, and it's been a pleasure to serve, and we will continue to do so. Thank you, everybody. See,
I told you we could listen to him for hours. One other person that I would really like to single out two other people that I would like to single out are Mike McNamara, our library attorney, and of course, who works with the city, and Stephanie Field, who's here, who's the city's HR director, who played a very, very important roles throughout this process. So that concludes the event. Please stay, linger, get some coffee, cookies, go get a library card if you don't have one. If you haven't filed your taxes, pick up a tax form as you leave the library. But our staff is more than happy to take you on a tour of the library. On your seats are invitations to the breakfast that we are hosting on April 11th. It's a celebration of libraries, a celebration of the people who work in libraries, and a celebration of the people who use libraries. It's our first attempt at really beginning to bring this community together and really celebrate what libraries are all about. So please RSVP. We will be serving you a hot breakfast. So Sherry's waiting to get your names in. So again, thank you so much for coming and have a wonderful day.